Okay, guys, so we'll begin our series with current affairs for 2023, specifically focusing on UPSC, but it would be helpful for all the state level exam, all the state services exam as well, like UPPCS, Punjab PCS, upcoming Punjab PCS, and even the Himachal Haryana State Public Service Commission examinations. So we'll quickly try to cover all the current affairs related events that took place, not only the direct events that took place, but also the backstory regarding the event, so that because questions are nowadays questions are not asked directly from the event that took place, but are asked from the backstories, the beneath, what do we say, middle the lines. So we have to keep in mind the direct story as well as what happened before that and what are its future impacts and everything beyond the specific current event that took place. So we'll begin with the very first current affair, that is CAG. So CAG stands for Comptroller and Auditor General of India. So basically, this office is responsible for all the auditing of the government, of the finances, of the public finances. Article 148 of the Indian Constitution covers the office of CAG. So far, CAG has been responsible for auditing the accounts of central government and the state governments. But now CAG is planning to expand its functioning and its operations to the district levels. So this is a very good initiative by CAG. So to bring financial prudence amongst the local self-government. So this is a step taken by CAG. So far we have to cover in this that they are planning to expand their presence to the district level. District level. This is what we have to cover in this current affair. Second is second is something about private members bill. As you might be knowing that there are two kinds of bill which are brought in parliament for to become an act, which become act later on by passing through various stages. So one is public bill and second is private members bill. So private members bill private members bill has some certain features. We'll discuss about those features. Number one feature is that it can only be introduced and discussed on Fridays, only on Fridays, not on any other day. Fridays are specifically kept for private members bill. So this is a point that you need to keep in mind. Second is admissibility is decided by the chairman in case of Rajya Sabha and by speaker in case of Lok Sabha. So basically, the presiding officers would decide that whether the bills would be admissible or not. So this is also another fact. And third is no private members bill has become an act since 1970. So it was only before 1970 that some private members bill became act, but so far after 1970, no private members bill have become an act. And if you want an exact number, that is 14. So 14 private members bill have become an act so far since the beginning of parliamentary system, the all the system of bills and acts and all. So this is an interesting fact to note even that 14 members private members bill have become an act, and since 1970, sorry, no private member bill has become an act. This much is covered to be covered in this current affair. Second is election. Third is election commission administers election. So you need to know some basic facts about election commission. First one is that you need to know about its article. Hope you wrote it down. Election commission, election commission of India. It's a constitutional position, and Article 324 of the Indian Constitution provides for its office composition and everything in between. Election Commission is responsible for conducting elections to the Lok Sabha, to the Lok Sabha. So this can be a straightforward question that Election Commission is responsible for conducting elections to which organs of the Indian government and all. So Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, the elections to the offices of President, Vice President, President, Vice President, and one more. I want you to comment this third organ where the election conductance is a responsibility of election commission. That is assemblies, state legislative assemblies, basically MLAs from different states. Are these all the elections to these bodies are responsibility of election commission. Next is Data Smart Cities Initiative. So it's a new initiative named Data Smart Cities Initiative. As you know, that data has become a new fuel in the economy, and it's a saying that now if someone has data, he has the power to rule over the economy. So all the agencies, all the companies nowadays are behind data, from data aggregation to data segregation to data transforming and to data storage. All these things are new developments in the field of technology. So data has become a new fuel of the industrial revolution 4.0, and data for data only the government is trying to bring new initiatives. So a new initiative named Data Smart Cities has been brought. Now we need to first understand under what are the features of this mission. So the mission is named as Data Smart Cities, DSC. So Data Smart Cities initiative is launched under National Urban Digital Mission. National Urban Digital Mission. This is a very important mission because it can be asked in your upcoming exams. National Urban Digital Mission, which aims to harness power of data for better governance in India's 100 smart cities. As you might be knowing that few years back the Smart Cities initiative was brought. So 100 cities of India were selected that were to be promoted to the smart cities level. So 100 cities which were decided by the urban ministry to promote to the level of smart cities. So these cities would also implement data smart cities. Also, they would also become data smart cities. So idea is to harness data related to administration and everything, from basic law and order situations to governance, like from roads, transport, traffic, and everything that comes around this that comes in city management and administration. So the data would be used, and the mission is under National Digital Urban Mission. Next is so there are some important initiatives that have been taken by the government for the development and promotion of Northeast region. So we have to know about them in brief. What are the major initiatives for the development of Northeast region? So we'll cover the major ones. Okay. The first initiative. So you can note it down. Initiatives for the Northeast region. So initiatives for the Northeast region. The board is not visible from the box. Got your point. Got your point. Is it okay now? Northeast region. Yes. So so this region basically. This region. So so this region is. Can you draw the map inside, please? Yes. Thank you. Great. Is it fine now? Yes, yes. So this region is a northeast region. So because it is, though it is a part of mainstream India, but it is not well connected with India. the cultural influence, the daily interaction amongst all Indians is far more as compared to the northeastern region. So we have to promote this region. We have to make them part of the mainstream media. So we are bringing in schemes and various initiatives so that we can, well, so that this region can also feel that they're part of India, and the other region of India can also know about that the specific region, because nowadays the thing is that people are not even aware that Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, all these states of northeast are even part of India. So people generally are not even aware about the existence of this area, this region. So we are specifically targeting so that this region, this area can integrate with the mainstream India. So the very first scheme is Act Fast for Northeast and Act First for Northeast policy. So I'll erase this map because space constraints. Act Fast. So the very first initiative is Act Fast for North, Act Fast for Northeast region, and Act Act First for Northeast policy. So this is a specific scheme where the objective is to bring in schemes and implement them at a very good pace, not delaying the implementation, because generally what happens is schemes are brought but the implementation is delayed. So the fruits of that particular schemes are not what do we say that with the fruits are not easily enjoyed by the people. So to make the policies and initiatives actually reap benefits. So this specific initiative is brought to make the schemes implemented in a very fast and structured manner, not being victim of the bottlenecks and the bureaucratic jams and everything that happens otherwise to the schemes and policies. So this is very first initiative. Second is PM Divine. This was in news, very much in news. PM Divine. So this can the full form of this term can be asked. It stands for PM's Development Initiative for Northeast. PM's Prime Minister's Development Initiative. See, DEV stands for Development Initiative for Northeast. PM's Divine. So idea behind this scheme is to create infrastructure and employment generation. You can write its objective. Objective is to promote infrastructure and employment generation. Okay. Next is Dhola Sadia Bridge. So this is country's India's longest bridge that is being brought in over the Lohit River in Assam. So there are few facts which you need to remember from this specific scheme. That is Dhola Sadia Bridge. So this bridge is India's longest bridge. It has not been developed fully. It is under construction. So this will be India's longest bridge, Dhola Sadia Bridge. Over which river? Over Lohit River. Over Lohit River. In which state? In Assam. So these are few facts you need to keep in mind, because a direct question can be asked that Dhola Sadia Bridge is upcoming on which river of the Assam. So the answer is Lohit River. You need to keep in mind the about the Lohit River that is flowing through Assam. Next is India, Myanmar, Thailand trilateral highway and rail project. So there are two projects which are under consideration. One is railway project and one is highway project. So highway project is for road transportation, and a rail project, for ferries and trains. So two projects connecting three different states. Number one is India, Myanmar, Thailand. India, Myanmar, Thailand, highway project. Three different sovereign states are being connected by this project, highway project. Second is Agartala, Akhuda rail project. So Akhuda is in Bangladesh. So this is a part of India. Agartala, India, Agartala Akhuda rail project. This is also another project that is being considered. Next is NEC, which is Northeastern Council, which was established in 1972 as a nodal agency for economic and social development of Northeastern region, is under administrative control of Ministry of Development of Northeast region. So this is a specific ministry of the central government, which is named as Ministry for the Development of Northeast region. Ministry for the Development of Northeast region. So the national. So you might be knowing about the Northeastern Council. Northeastern Council. So Northeastern Council was specifically brought up so that the Northeastern region can be looked after, and the development and various projects can be brought for the Northeastern region. So administrative control of Northeastern Council is under the Ministry of Development of Northeast region. So this you need to keep in mind. Second is you need to know about that who is the chairman of this Northeastern Council. The Home Minister, Union Home Minister, is ex officio chairman of the Northeastern Council, and Northeastern Council is like a body which arranges for meetings, public discussions, and everything, so that various policies can be designed, keeping in mind the needs and aspirations of the people and the society which is prevailing and thriving in Northeastern region. So some key achievements of this Northeastern Council is that in last 8 years, 74% of reduction has been witnessed in the East insurgency related incidents. So it's a huge number, 74% reduction. In our insurgency, basically separatist movements are a regular, were a day-to-day phenomena in northeastern region. So the insurgency related to those movements have reduced by 74%. Insurgency related movements by 74%. It's a great number. And the second is 60% reduction in incidents of attacks on security forces which are employed in the Northeast region, whether it is CISF, BSF, or any other central agency or any other state agency which was involved in protecting and maintaining peace in the Northeastern region. So 60% reduction has been noted by the agencies. It was an achievement of the Northeastern Council because it was only because of the Northeastern Council that the steps and initiatives were taken and streamlined so that the people of the Northeast could feel that they are being considered, they are being listened to, and the aspirations were fulfilled. So this is all about Northeastern region. So we talked about in a detail, very much detail, because it is a very important thing, not even for your prelims exam, but also for your mains examination. Because northeastern portion of India requires a specific attention of bureaucracy of our government so that they can be made part of the main स्ट्रीमलाइंड इंडिया जो द इंडिया जिसको हम काफी देर से जो प्रफुल्लित हो रहा है लेकिन बिकॉज ऑफ सर्टेन फैक्टर्स ये पोर्शन हमेशा से ही थोड़ा अलग रहा सिस्टम के इसलिए ये काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है नेक्स्ट इज And next is Maharashtra Karnataka interstate border dispute. So there is an ongoing dispute between Maharashtra and Karnataka. The reason is that certain territories are being claimed by Maharashtra and Karnataka both, and you need to keep that territory in your mind. Basically, there's a region. There's a region that is Belgavi region. Belgavi region, which is currently part of Karnataka right now. Currently part of Karnataka right now, Belgavi region. This region is claimed by the Maharashtra because this region has the population of uh, Marathi speaking people. So this Belgavi region is being claimed by this presently it is situated in Karnataka, but is being claimed by Maharashtra, so that the Marathi aspirations of the linguistic aspirations can be fulfilled. So this region you need to keep in mind. So it led to interstate border dispute between Maharashtra and Karnataka. Next is revamped probity portal has been launched by Department of Personnel and Training. It's not much importance. Next is India has proposed reforms in United Nations via norms. So you all be knowing about United Nations. It stands for basically this is an agency, intergovernmental, international agency, which is responsible for maintaining peace and order amongst the uh, world and amongst the all global countries. So basically, the functioning of UN has become rudimentary and become static, and which has led to the crushing of aspirations of new growing economies and new growing countries like India and few countries like Brazil. So they want them to be heard properly. They want them to be considered with due respect because of their rising populations and rising role in the economy and in the global order basically. But the earlier members who are part of UN, who were earlier the rich members or the rich countries, they are feeling threatened by this change in the demand that is being brought to change the structural and functioning of United Nations. So India has proposed norms to bring in changes in the United Nations. United Nations. India has proposed norms. Now, what does norm stand for? New orientation for reformed multilateral system. New orientation for, so it's a new orientation. New orientation means new outlook, new way of looking at things for revamped multilateral systems. Okay. Multilateral system stands for all those agencies and all those agencies and organizations which are into managing peace, managing various aspects like nuclear deals, like terrorism, like finances to the terrorist organizations, everything. All these are called multilateral organizations. So a new orientation has been proposed by the Indian government, Indian systems, and so far we need to know about what are the structure. What is the structure of UNSC? Basically, which is the implementation body of United Nations, that is UNSC, which stands for United Nations Security Council. Nations Security Council. And what is the present day structure? It is that its membership is limited to 15 members, which consists of five permanent members, which are called P5s, P5 permanent fives. So the question can be asked, what are the five permanent members? You have to choose which is, the question can be asked that which amongst the following option is not a member, not a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, or the other way around. You might be able to, you might be asked to match with the other options. So anyway, the question can be asked for the P5 members. You need to remember it by heart. The P5 members are China, France, Russia, UK, and USA. China, France, Russia, UK, USA. China, France, Russia, UK, USA. So if you see, so these countries are the ones who had everything under their control about the global order since the World War. But now new emerging countries and nations have emerged, which are threatening their powers, their roles, traditional roles. That is the thing which is making these countries in a panic mode, making them feel threatened by the new aspirations of countries like India. And so, as I told you, that there are 15 members. P5 stands for permanent 5 members, and 10 members are non-permanent. So they are temporary members. They change by rotation. So 10 non-permanent members are elected by United Nations General Assembly by two thirds majority. They serve for 2 years. They serve a 2 year term. Basically, the idea is that some members would remain permanent, means 5 members would remain permanent. Other ones would come and go. For they would serve only for 2 years, and so there's nothing to keep in mind about the 10 other members. So India had a membership for 2022 till 2024, but India is demanding the expansion of this P5 membership, and the veto power that they have should be eliminated or should be distributed to the new members as well. Basically, the idea is that veto is misused by the P5 nations. Like, for example, Russia vetoed on the against the resolution on Ukraine, and China has deployed it against India to safeguard Pakistan-based terrorists. So India brings a resolution against Pakistan, and China blocks that resolution by using its veto power because it's a member of P5 nations. So this is the issue related to this thing. Next, we'll move to another topic, that is, so we'll understand about the reforms that India is aiming in bit detail. So one is G4, G4 group. One is G4 group. One is G4 group. So this G4 group stands for Japan, India, Brazil, and Germany. So if you would see, so these four countries are new emerging players in the global order, and they are expecting a increased role of their nations, respective nations, in the functioning of United Nations. So, so G4 group has recommended that the Council UNSC should be expanded to 25 members, of which there are 11 permanent members and six new members should be added. The 6 members should be from first four should be from G4, obviously Japan, India, Brazil, Germany, and two from African continent, and an additional three elected seats. So basically, it sums up to 25. So for us, the thing which is important is that who amongst the countries made are part of G4, Japan, India, Brazil, Germany. A direct question came in some state PSC examination. I could not recall it exactly in which one, but there was a question that which among the following is not a part of G4. So you need to keep in mind Japan, Brazil, India, and Germany. These are part of G4 nations, and they're expecting the expansion of United Nations Security Council. Second one is Uniting for Consensus Coalition, or UFC. Uniting for Consensus Coalition, UFC. Basically, it is an initiative which is led by Italy. So this coalition aims to counter G4 bids. So see, there is on one hand G4 is expecting an expansion of the UNSC, and on the other hand there is UFC. It is in opposite side to the G4, which is not aiming to expand the UNSC's membership, and it is led by Italy. So the G4 aspirations are opposed by UFC, which is led by Italy. What does it aim for? So basically, it aims that the 25 member council can be achieved. It is right to ask for more members, but without adding any new permanent member to the council. So Italy is expecting the expansion. At least saying expansion is okay, but we don't want any new permanent member to be part of the P5, the privileged five nations that already are in the group of P5 nations. Third one is Isulvini consensus. Isulvini consensus. This represents the aspirations of African bloc. Basically, it proposes two permanent seats and two additional seats for Africa. So African aspirations are promoted and placed by the Isulvini consensus, which is representing African consensus. It says that Isulvini. You can write it down. Isulvini consensus, representing African aspirations. Isulvini consensus. What is it expecting? It says that two new permanent seats and two additional non permanent seats are should be given to the African nation, and permanent members would be granted all the prerogatives and privileges of the permanent membership. So basically, they are expecting the expansion from 15 plus 4 to 19 by adding two new permanent seats and two temporary seats. Isul Vini, that too from African nation. And the last famous reform group is L69 group. So they are expecting something in both the United Nations Security Council and General Assembly (UNGA). So it is L69 group. They are expecting the enlarged role in both the Security Council and the UNGA, and also expecting the uh, number of members in both to be increased in both the permanent and non-permanent category. So new permanent members shall have the same privileges, and even the right to veto should also be granted to the new permanent members. So basically, they are not expecting anything specific, but all they are wanting is expansion. Not any fixed expansion number, but they're expecting expansion of the UNSC mainly. Sometimes there are also demands for UNG expansion, but mainly expansion of UNSC in both the categories, permanent and non-permanent category. So these are all about the initiatives that have been in news regarding the UNSC reforms. And one thing you need to keep in mind that the consensus uniting for consensus that we talked about is also known as Coffee Club in short. It is very famous as nicknamed as Coffee Club. So it was a movement that developed in 1990s, basically in opposition to the possible expansion of permanent seats in the UNSC under the leadership of Italy, as I told you earlier. It aims to counter the bids for permanent seats proposed by G4 nations, as I told you earlier, Brazil, Germany, India, Japan, and is calling for consensus before any decision is reached on the form and size of UNSC. So basically, there's an interesting fact you need to keep in mind that Italy, through the ambassador of Italy, along with Pakistan, Mexico, Egypt, founded the Coffee Club. So it's an interesting fact. So whereas G4 consists of Germany, Japan, Brazil, and India, the Coffee Club, the Uniting for Consensus, consists of Italy, Pakistan, Mexico, and one more, Egypt. So, so these four are on one hand, and these four are on other another hand. So this is you need to keep in mind that they are opposing the expansion because of G4 is expecting their names to be added. So they are expecting some other thing that they don't want any expansion in the permanent category because their claim is not strong for the permanent seats. But these countries have a stronger claim for the permanent seats. These countries don't have a stronger claim, so they expect what they're expecting is that these countries should not be included at least. If their claim is not strong, so like जैसे हिंदी में कहते हैं कि ना हम आएंगे ना हम किसी को आने देंगे तो वो कॉफी क्लब वाली चीज ये कर रहे हैं कि दे themselves cannot be part of the privileged five group so they are demanding that इनको भी बाहर रखा जाए. So this is all for the lecture number one, and we'll continue further with the series. Thank you.